जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्णा. Welcome everyone. We are going to read from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 2, Text 10. Canto 3 is entitled as Status Quo. Chapter 2, Remembrance of Lord Krishna, and today's our verse 10. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Hare Krishna. So I'll read the verse 3 times, and whoever wants to chant, you can read the verse as well. Devasya maya sprista ye chanyada sadashritaha brahmyate dhirna tadvakye atmanyuktatmanoharo. Devasya maya sprista ye chanyada sadashritaha brahmyate dhirna tadvakye atmanyuktatmanoharo. Devasya maya sprista ye chanyada sadashritaha brahmyate dhirna tadvakye atmanyuktatmanoharo. Hare Krishna.
Devasya maya sprishta yajanyat asad ashrita pramyate devna tadvakye atmanyutra manoharo. Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Devasya Mayaya Sprishta Yechanyat Asadashritaha Brahmyate Dhirna Tadvakyair Atmanyopatatmanoharau. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Devasya mayaya sprishta ye channad asad asritaha brahmayate dhirana tad bhakkair atmani uttatmano bharau. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Devasya mayaya sprishta ye chanyad asad ashitaha brahmyate dhirna tad vakyer atmanya upatatmanoharo. Hare Krishna.
Devasya mayaya sprishta ye chanyat asadashrita brahmyate dhirna tadvakyair atmanyai upatatmanoharau.
Anyone else? Okay, then go forward. Anyone else? Devasya, of the personality of Godhead. Mayaya, by the influence of external energy. Spristaha, infected. Ye, all those. Cha, and. Anyat, others. Asat, illusory. Asritaha, being taken to. Brahmyate, bewilder. Dhihi, intelligence. Na, not. Tat, of them. Bhakyahi, by those words. Atmani, in the Supreme Self. Uttatmanaha, surrendered souls. Harau, unto the Lord. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Under no circumstances can the words of persons bewildered by the illusory energy of the Lord deviate the intelligence of those who are completely surrendered souls. Purport. Lord Sri Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead according to all the evidences of the Vedas. He is accepted by all acharyas, including Sripad Sankaracharya. But when he was present in the world, different classes of men accepted him differently, and therefore their calculations of the Lord were also different. Generally, persons who had faith in the revealed scriptures accepted the Lord as he is, and all of them merged into great bereavement when the Lord disappeared from the world. In the first canto, we have already discussed the lamentation of Arjun and Yudhishthir, to whom the disappearance of Lord Krishna was almost intolerable up to the end of their lives. The Yadavas were only partially cognizant of the Lord, but they are also glorious because they had the opportunity to associate with the Lord, who acted as the head of their family. And they also rendered the Lord intimate service. The Yadavas and other devotees of the Lord are different from those who wrongly calculated him to be an ordinary human personality. Such persons are certainly bewildered by the illusory energy. They are jealous and are envious of the Supreme Lord. The illusory energy acts very powerfully on them, because in spite of their elevated mundane education, such persons are faithless and are infected by the mentality of atheism. They are always very eager to establish that Lord Krishna was an ordinary man who was killed by a hunter due to his many impious acts in plotting to kill the sons of Dhritarashtra and Jarasandha, the demoniac kings of the earth. Such persons have no faith in the statement of the Bhagavad Gita that the Lord is unaffected by the reactions of work. Namam karmani limpanti. According to the atheistic point of view, Lord Krishna's family, the Yadu dynasty, was vanquished due to being cursed by the Brahmanas for the sins committed by Krishna in killing the sons of Dhritarashtra, etc. All these blasphemies do not touch the heart of the devotees of the Lord, because they know perfectly well what is what. Their intelligence regarding the Lord is never disturbed. But those who are disturbed by the statements of the Asuras are also condemned. That is what Uddhava meant in this verse. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanasalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapatakamanam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsa Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Visakhanvitam Sa He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinamandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sudha Devi Pranamami Hari Panchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubheva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Prativashana Bhagavan Vedi Kripa Tamaham Vibhu. Translation again. Under no circumstances can the words of persons, bewildered by the illusory energy of the Lord, deviate the intelligence of those who are completely surrendered souls. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity this morning for my own purification. And before I speak on this glorious verse, I would like to seek blessings and permission from all the assembled devotees here in Jungland. Thank you. Thank you. So just to bring ourselves to this verse today, the chapter itself is named as Remembrance of Lord Krishna, and we're hearing from a few verses from how Uddhava started remembering Lord Krishna. And he actually started talking from verse 7 with immense love of separation. He was remembering Lord Krishna. At the same time, he was feeling that separation, that intense separation from Lord Krishna. But from verse 8, 7, he starts speaking about that separation, right? He misses Lord Krishna so much. But in verse 8, we can see how Uddhava expresses his intense grief over Lord Krishna's departure, and along with his frustrations that the Yadavas, who had the rare opportunity to associate with Lord directly, were not fully aware of Krishna's supreme nature. Not to forget that Uddhava is also a Yadava, right? He was the cousin of Lord Krishna. But Uddhava, he grabbed that opportunity and he was serving the Lord to his fullest capacity from his childhood. Right? And then in today's verse, it reflects the power of surrender. In the translation, so it's very clear. I'll read the translation again. Under no circumstances can the words of persons be bewildered by the illusory energy of the Lord, devi, the intelligence of those who are completely surrendered souls. And in the purport, Srila Prabhupada, he writes that he briefly mentions about how different classes of men accepted Lord differently when he was present among them. And then he's saying that whoever has faith in revealed scripture can accept the Lord as he is. That in the purport, the first paragraph. And then yesterday I'm hoping everyone of us heard this nice story of faith by Ajamil Prabhu in yesterday's class. He gave that nice story of that thief, right? How the faith, we need that faith. And that was very nice story. And then Srila Prabhupada actually is tying that translation, for today's verse with the last lines in the purport, the second paragraph in the purport. Like when I only read the translation, it was kind of confusing. I couldn't understand who that people or persons that Uddhava was referring to. Because the verse says, persons bewildered by the illusory energy. Right? And then when I read the purport multiple times, then I feel like, okay, there is some connection. Prabhupada is making us clear. Because if we only read the verse, we get confused. But Prabhupada is spoon feeding us. So he very nicely elaborated the translation in the purport. In today's verse, we see it looks like Uddhava seemed mad about the misfortune of other Yadus. But Srila Prabhupada in the purport is saying the Yadavas were only partially cognizant of the Lord, but they are also glorious because they had the opportunity to associate with the Lord, who acted as the head of their family. And they also rendered the Lord intimate service. Right? And then further, Srila Prabhupada referred to the destruction of Yadu dynasty in the purport. You just gave the brief glance, but the detail is in Canto 11. You can read in detail. It's very interesting pastime. Chapter 1 and again in chapter 30, we can read about the destruction of Yadu dynasty. And Srila Prabhupada mentioned about the Brahmana cursing. Right? The Brahmanas, it's in detail in Canto 11. Right? Just to briefly mention about the pastime, the Yadava boys, including Nasamba and others, actually they were in pilgrimage. I forgot the name. Sorry, but the boys, they dress Samba, son of Jambavati, as a pregnant lady, right? And they go to the Brahmanas and ask them, you are learned Brahmanas, you know past, present, future, everything. Now, will you be able to tell us, like, this pregnant lady? Uh, they said, like, what was that? Black-eyed lady or something like that. Can you tell us? She's about to give birth, but can you tell us, will it be a boy or girl, like that? And the Brahmanas, I think even Narada Muni's name is listed there. They get mad because they know they can know the mischievous act of the boys, so they curse them, saying, "Fools, she'll bear you an iron club that will destroy your entire dynasty." That was the uh, curse the Brahmanas give to the Yadava boys. But if we read the initial verses of the same chapter, it's in chapter 1, Sukadev Goswami tells Parikshit Maharaj the real cause behind the destruction. Right? After the Battle of Kurukshetra, actually, Battle of Kurukshetra means removing the burden of earth. Lord Krishna, he thinks to himself. He says, like, although some may say that the earth's burden is now gone, Lord Krishna is saying this. He's thinking to himself, in my opinion, it is not gone yet. Because there still remains the Yadava dynasty itself, whose strength is unbearable for the earth. It's in around the second or third verse. Sukadeva Goswami is telling Parikshit Maharaj what Lord Krishna was thinking. And because if we calculate the numbers itself, Yadava dynasties, they were like a vast number. If we calculate, Lord Krishna has 16,108 wives, right? Queens. And then from each wife, he had 10 sons and one daughter. And then again, from each sons, 10 sons. It's like that. So if we calculate the number, like more than 60,000 or something like that. Uh, so, um, and then in the following verse, Lord Krishna continues saying, like, no outside force could ever bring about the defeat of this family because they are such powerful, the Yadu dynasty. And then he also says that because why nobody can destroy them, because they are fully surrendered to Lord Krishna, and they had such a big opulence that nobody can even attempt to destroy them. And then what he says, but if I inspire a quarrel within the dynasty, that quarrel will act just like a fire created from the friction of bamboo in a groove. And then Lord Krishna says, I shall achieve my real purpose and return to my eternal abode. That is Lord Krishna saying. Then Parikshit Maharaj asks question, like, how can, all this question. And then comes the story of the Yadava boys and the curse, all these things. Now, here is our connecting point. Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport, according to the atheistic point of view, Lord Krishna's family, the Yadu dynasty, was vanquished due to being cursed by the Brahmanas for the sins. I'm just reading from the purport. Sins committed by Krishna in killing the sons of Dhritarashtra, etc. All these blasphemies do not touch the heart of the devotees of the Lord because they know perfectly well what is what. Their intelligence regarding the Lord is never disturbed. But those who are disturbed by the statements of the asuras are also condemned. That is what Uddhava meant in this verse. So when we only read a translation, it looks like coming from the previous verses, it looks like when Uddhava is saying those persons bewildered by the illusory energy, to me it looked like he was referring to the Yadavas because they had this fight, they were overcame, like they were actually their intelligence was covered by illusory energy. That's why they they did this mischievous act with the Brahmanas, knowing the status, the position of the Brahmanas, and all those things. They were not ordinary kids. They were the clan of Lord Krishna, you should say. They knew very well how to respect the Brahmanas, how to respect the elders, everything. But that was the situation that Lord Krishna wanted them to do, right? And then Uddhava is referring, like, even though that thing happened, there was a fight there was a war between not war, the fight between the family, leading to the destruction of the whole dynasty, right? And then Uddhava is telling us that that's not actually not the reason of the destruction, right? That's why he says that under no circumstances can the words of persons be bewildered by the illusory energy of the Lord, deviate the intelligence of those who are completely surrendered souls. Those Yadavas were not those Yadavas. Here, actually, he's telling Uddhava himself, right? Cannot deviate my intelligence, or cannot bewilder, cannot deviate me from the surrendering or from the love of the God. Right? And then today, actually, is the glorious appearance day of Lord Vamadev, right? The very profound epitome of surrender, actually, the pastime of Lord Vamadev and Bali Maharaj. And also an appearance day of Srila Goswami, Srila Jiva Goswami, perfect example of surrender. And the result of surrender is Lord Vamadev. So we have heard the story of Bali Maharaj and Vamanadev it's in Canto 8 multiple times, right? And then in the Savatara Sutra, Srila Jaydev Goswami, he glorifies Lord Vamanadev. How he came, he put that form of dwarf Brahmana, right? What was that verse? Chalayasi Vikramane Balimadhuta Vamana Padanakani Rajanita Jana Bhavana Keshavadrita Vamana Rupa Jai Jagadishu Hari. O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of dwarf Vamana, all glories to you. O wonderful dwarf, by your massive steps, you deceive King Bali. And by the Ganges water that has emanated from the nails of your lotus feet, you deliver all living beings within this world. Right. So I'm not going to repeat the whole pastimes, but what was the gist of this pastime? Right? Surrender. Actually, this pastime of Bali Maharaj and Vamanadev is one of the most profound examples of complete and unconditional surrender to the Supreme Lord. Right? Despite tremendous personal sacrifice, Bali Maharaj as a king and conqueror of three worlds had immense power and authority. But however, when Lord in the form of Brahman or the dwarf Brahman asked for a simple gift, he did not let pride or ego to stand in the way. So, and what was the result? Finally, Lord himself agreed to be the god of Bali Maharaj's kingdom in Sutal. Right? So that is the example Bali Maharaj set forth, because he is one of our Mahajana. Mahajana means authority whom we have to follow. We should follow. When one surrenders to the Lord becomes the protector, right? Even in difficult or adverse circumstances. But surrender is not easy. I'm just remembering Parikshit Prabhu, how wonderfully he would have told this past time. But when Bali Maharaj gave those 2 steps, Lord, agreed to give those 3 steps, Lord took everything in 2 steps, right? Practically everything, and there's nothing left. And then when he asked for 3rd step, Bali Maharaj says like the charity and the charity giver is separate; they're not same. So the charity giver is still here, so you can take me, or you can put your 3rd step on my head. That means he's surrendering everything to him, right? Till then, Vamadev hasn't he hadn't manifested his form, but after surrendering himself, Lord Vamadev humiliates Bali Maharaj again. He ties him with the rope, right, the snake rope, in front of his whole kingdom, whole assembly of royal family or whatnot, and he gets so much humiliated after surrendering everything. But that also did not um, make Bali Maharaj to withdraw, or to even think for a second that it's not fair. He just surrendered, right? And then what did Lord Vamanadev did? He made Bali Maharaj, seeing that surrender, that complete and unconditional surrender. He made Bali Maharaj the king of Sutala planet, right? Which is more opulent than even the havens, Indra's kingdom. And then he himself agrees to be the doorkeeper for Bali Maharaj, right? That is actually the result of surrender, I should say. And then another embodiment of surrender, Sri Jiva Goswami, whose appearance day is today. Srila Jiva Goswami, one of our 6 Goswamis, one of the youngest among the 6 Goswamis. His entire life, we can see, was dedicated to glorifying, defending, and promoting the teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the supremacy of Lord Krishna as the ultimate form of God, Swayam Bhagavan. He, as other 6 Goswamis, he also gave up the worldly comforts, wealth, and opportunities to live in Vrindavan. He was the son of Anupam, or somewhere it is said Vallabha also, the brothers of Rupa and Sanatan Goswami. That means he's the nephew of Rupa and Sanatan Goswami. Jiva Goswami exhibited like extraordinary humility throughout his whole life. And that humility, like we saw in Bali Maharaj also, is the key element of surrender. One of the pastime where the where he shows his this utmost humility is when there was a highly so-called scholar who was going around defeating all the others, right? He would go to the scholars, and then he'll say, we will have this like what is called debate, sastrartha, and then he would defeat, and he will make a certificate kind of saying like I was defeated by, what was his name? I think his name was Rupnarayan, like that, and sign. So you're defeated, like that. So he comes to Vrindavan also, and then he goes to Rupa and Sanatan Goswami. So he invites them for the debate, but both of them, Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami, they were like, no, just give the paper, I'll just sign. So they didn't want to waste a single second debating with him. So they just signed, okay, I was defeated by this scholar. And then he goes to, like, in this way, then he reaches to Jiva Goswami. Also, Jiva Goswami was just a kid, like 19, 20 years old. And then Jiva Goswami, when he invites, Rupanarayan invites Jiva Goswami also for the debate. And when he hears that I'd already defeated your uncles, Rupa and Sanatana Goswami were defeated by me, hearing that, Jiva Goswami could not tolerate, because not only they were his uncles, he took initiation from Rupa Goswami. He first asked Sanatana Goswami, and Sanatana Goswami tells him to go to Rupa Goswami, right? And then Jiva Goswami, you try to defeat me. I'm just a kid, and then how dare you say that you have defeated Rupa and Sanatana Goswami, right? And then so the debate goes on, and then Jiva Goswami actually defeats that Rupanarayan. So this news goes around to Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, that Jiva Goswami defeated Rupanarayan. And then because he was trying to defend, because his mission is like defending is all his life. So he's trying to defend his guru, right? And then when Rupa Goswami comes to know that, he chastises Jiva Goswami that is not the humility he should have. Right? And the other thing he wanted to teach us also, like, we don't waste time debating, right? And then Jiva Goswami was actually exiled from Vrindavan. He said, you're not allowed to stay in Vrindavan. Long story short, then Jiva Goswami goes to the outskirt of Vrindavan, and he finds a cave. He stays there, or like in separation, crying and chanting. He did not even say a word to Rupa Goswami that, Guruji, Guru Maharaj, I was just trying to just defend you, or I was just doing good thing, nothing. Just accepted whatever his guru said. Right? And then Sanatana Goswami, when he comes to know, and then he goes to Rupa Goswami, and he asks Rupa Goswami, what are the three principles? That is a different story. But I mean, Jiva Goswami, like how he was that, how he exhibited the extraordinary humility throughout his life. This is the only pastime, but there are so many others. Right? Even Lord Krishna, when after that, and then Rupa Goswami, after Sanatana Goswami tells him, like, you don't have Jivadaya, these are one of our three principles, and you are doing Nama Seva, and what is that? I forgot three of them. So third is Jivadaya. So, and then Rupa Goswami calls Jiva Goswami to come back, and then, out of love and seeing his surrender, Rupa Goswami personally carves the deity, Radha Damodar, and so over to Jiva Goswami. And so then Jiva Goswami, the Radha Damodar deity is handed over to Jiva Goswami, still in in Vrindavan, sorry, Vrindavan, Radha Damodar temple. But I was going to say, like, that Jiva Goswami was such a surrendered soul, and he was actually the associate of Radha Damodar in the eternal realm. I think I was hearing from Radha Swami Maharaj, and he was saying he was Vilas Manjari in the Golok Vrindavan. And we can hear some pastimes where the Radha Damodar deity, gifted by Rupa Goswami, would talk to Jiva Goswami. Like, you'll ask him to, cook, you'll ask him to dress, all this stuff. But anyway, I think we're going away. But what I was saying, like, Jiva Goswami, not only he surrendered himself, he is teaching all of us to surrender, because surrender doesn't just come by itself. To surrender, we have to know first whom we are going to surrender, how we are going to surrender, like why we are going to surrender. So that things Jiva Goswami has put together in his writings, which are very highly esteemed for their depth, clarity, and the philosophical rigor, right? And they actually form the basis for us, Gaudiya Vaishnavism theology, and continue to be studied and revered by the devotees. Some of them are Sat Sandarbha, the six Sandarbhas, then Gopal Champu, Harinamamrit, Vrindavan Mahimamrit, Krishna Sandarbha, Anuchedas, like those. He wrote more than 4 lakh verses, and then more than 25 books. And then we are now actually reading Harinamamrita, where it's the Sanskrit grammar, but Jiva Goswami has compiled in such a way that you can just hear about Krishna or Rama, all Krishna Leelas in Bhakaran, which we cannot do in normal grammar. Like even for when we say grammar, Devanagari Lipi, we say Raswa, Dirga. But for that, those things, Raswa, Dirga is very normal. Like, so Raswa means the short sound or long sound like that. He says Bhamana is short, Raswa. Why? Bhamana is dwarf, so it's short. And Trivikrama is long because he's the brother of Bhamana, right? And then he says one of the sutras of Harinamamrita says, what was that? Satsangat Purvo Bhamanopi Guruhu. One of the example of Srila Jiva Goswami, how he's in Sanskrit, he is making it so Krishna conscious that while you're reading Sanskrit, you don't think you're reading Sanskrit, you feel like you're reading some pastimes. Right? The meaning of that sutra is like Satsangat Purva Bhamanopi Guru means before the Satsanga means the association, right? Satsangat Purva Bhamanopi Guru. Purva means before. Before association, even a dwarf. Bhamana. Bhamanopi Guru. No, Satsangat Purva Bhamanopi Guru. Satsangat Purva. Before association, he was a dwarf. Nothing. Dwarf means little. And then after the association, what happens? He becomes Guru. Heavy now. That means when we associate with the devotees, even though we're nothing, then we become something in the eyes of Krishna. Right? Anyway. Okay. Those are some writings of Srila Jiva Goswami. And about surrender, Srila Jiva Goswami in his Anucheda, I think I have it in my slide. If I can share the screen, I can, instead of just reading myself, you can see it. Mother Sobaradi, can you give me permission?
I thought I made you co-host. Let me see. No. I don't know why that changed. There you go.
Okay, here, make it bigger. Here. You want to read Mother Sobaradi?
There are various divisions of Vaidhi Bhakti, including surrender, Sharanapati, service to authentic devotees, Satseva, beginning with one's Guru, hearing, Shravana, singing, Kirtana, and other similar acts of devotion. It is understood from scripture that these divisions of bhakti, whether performed singly or in combinations of 2 or 3, are instrumental in attaining the perfectional stage of bhakti, that is bhava.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Not only he gives us like how we start surrendering starts from, he said, from hearing, right? Hearing and then singing, Shravana Kirtana, all those Navada Bhakti. And then then he also tells us how to surrender, why to surrender in his all those writings. And in today's verse, actually, it's saying once you're surrendered, you will not get bewildered, like Uddhava is saying in today's translation. That means that is one of the sign of surrender, right? That you will not be bewildered, undeviated focus on the Supreme. And this one of the verse that Srila Prabhupada often quotes from, I think it is from Hari Bhakti Vilas, but it is also quoted in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila. Anya Vilas, Anukulasya, sorry, Anya Vilas, like Anukulasya Sankalpa, Pratikulasya Varjanam, Rakshaisyatiti Viswaso, Bhaktivitya Varanam Tatha. Atma Nikshepa Karpanya, Sadvidha, Saranagatihi. Those are the symptoms or the 6 divisions of surrender. What are they? Anukulasa Sankalpa, acceptance of those things favorable to devotional service. And Pratikulasya Bharjanam, the rejection of unfavorable things. And then Rakshaisyatiti Viswaso, the conviction that Krishna will give protection. Then Goptritya Varanam Tatha, the acceptance of the Lord as one's guardian or master. And then Atma Nikshepa Karpanya, full surrender, full self-surrender and humility. Those are the 6 I would say 6 categories or the 6 limbs of surrender. And then, I mean, if surrender is also is itself it's a vast topic we talk about, right? This whole oh, I forgot to mention about another example of surrender. Was that's our own Srila Prabhupada. We can see how at the age of 69 he left Vrindavan. Right? Usually people when they get old they try to stay in Vrindavan and leave their body there. But Srila Prabhupada, he surrendered himself to Krishna, and with his Guru's order in heart, he came to the place where he never had been, which was not favorable for his spiritual health. He came. That was also not easy. Like we're reading Srila Prabhupada Leela Amrit. He went through so much troubles, but he had that complete faith and surrender to Lord Krishna. Rakshaisyatiti Viswasa. Goptritya Varanam. He had that surrender. He had that faith that Krishna will protect me. And then he came, and we know, I'm not going to repeat all this, but we know how he went through all those troubles, all those hardships, just that he had surrendered to his Guru, thanks to Lord Krishna. But I have a clip of Srila Prabhupada's lecture about surrender. Maybe like when I say it doesn't have any gravity, but when it comes from Srila Prabhupada, the pure devotee, the mouth of pure devotee, it's more profound and it will work. Okay, let's hear from him.
In the Bhagavad Gita also.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, make it 100.
So, the same teaching is there, but we have got 2 books already published. One Bhagavad Gita as it is, another book, Teachings of Lord Chaitanya. So, Bhagavad Gita teaches surrendering process. Sarva dharman parittajya mamekam saranam bhaja. You surrender unto me, the Lord says. And the Lord teaching, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teaching is how to make surrender. because we have been accustomed in our traditional life to revolt against surrender. There are so many parties. The main principle is that why shall I surrender? That is the main disease. Whatever political party is there, just like the Communist Party, their revolt is against the superior authority they call capitalist. Why shall I? Everywhere the same thing is, why shall I surrender? But we have to surrender. That is our constitutional position. If I don't surrender to some particular person or particular government or particular community or society or something, but ultimately I am surrendered. I am surrendered to the laws of nature. There is no independence. I have to surrender. When there is call of the cruel hands of death, immediately I have to surrender. So many things. So we should understand this is Brahma Jigyasa. Why there is this surrendering process? If I don't like to surrender, then I am forced to surrender. In the state also, if I don't mean to abide by the laws of the state obliges me to surrender by police force, by military force, by so many things. Similarly, I don't want to die, but death forces me to surrender. I don't want to become old man, but nature forces me to become old. I don't want any disease, but nature forces me to accept some sort of disease. So this surrendering process is there. Now we have to understand why this is so. That means my constitutional position is to surrender. But the present difficulty is that I am surrendering to a wrong person. When we understand that I should surrender to the Supreme Lord, then my constitutional position is revived. That is my liberty.
Haribo, Srila Prabhupada ki,
Jai.
Bhagavatam, Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki.
Jai.
With that, I'll end here. Thank you so much for tolerating me. And I would like to open up for more points. I know surrender is not a small topic. More points, realization, or any correction. Haribo, thank you. Well, Parikshit Prabhu, where are you?
He's there. He's there.
There, yes, yeah. Hare Krishna. You're muted.
You're muted, Prabhu.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Technology, I'm not so expert in, but
now
thank you
we
very
can
much
hear.
for nice lecture. Going to many points. And today you also talked about Jiva Goswami. And I have to admit, I know a lot less about Jiva Goswami than Sanatana Goswami, and especially Rupa Goswami. But to hear about Jiva Goswami, a few times that I have seen statements made by him in the lectures, in the Shastra, he really talks about points that are very, very critical. One of the things that I remember from the scriptures coming from Jiva Goswami is where Maharaj Pariksit was going through the meditation before Shukadeva Goswami came. It became a point of contention. Is it the Jamuna or is it the Ganga? This is also a point of contention, but it is resolved. Jiva Goswami was saying that it had to be the Jamuna. Jamuna was quite close to where Maharaj Parikshit's kingdom was. So that was one point. But then Srila Prabhupada said that if the Ganga is purified 100 times, it becomes the Jamuna. That was how it was resolved. But it was Jiva Goswami's argument point on this whole thing about where he was. The point though is that of course the Jamuna is sacred, the Ganga is sacred, and both Maharaj Pariksit and Shukadeva Goswami are pure devotees. So basically, what we learn from it, is the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is very useful in our lives. All the same, I'm making a point, trying to make the point that Jiva Goswami sometimes touches on details that are quite controversial, or deeper. Let's not even controversial, but just deeper. And I got the sense of him. Yeah, he was very young compared to Sanatana Goswami. They were uncles. Anupam was the father. There were three brothers, Super Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, and Anupam. And Anupam was the father of Jiva Goswami. And Anupam died early in his life. So all wonderful pastimes about the Lord. So thank you for bringing it up and also discussing how some people don't quite believe who Krishna is. But Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that they are fools. They are mocking at him, but they think he's an ordinary human being. And so, well, we know better by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Okay.
Thank you.
Very
Anyway,
rich, Prabhu.
saying about that, I was just remembering like Jiva Goswami loved Srimad Bhagavatam so much that I think he produced 3 commentaries only on Srimad Bhagavatam. I don't remember the name. It was Kramasandharva. I forgot. There were 3 commentaries by Jiva Goswami only on Srimad Bhagavatam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mother Syamagori. Very nice. What my reflection is, as I was listening to the class, my appreciation for Srila Prabhupada. Everything, you were talking about Srila Jiva Goswami as I was thinking of my questions or what to say, his purports are so in detail. He has distilled everything. He has, he has read all of these commentaries, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. I don't want to say we don't have to read. We should read all those also. We should study all those also. But somebody who is limited and doesn't have the intelligence to read through all of those, we read Srila Prabhupada's commentaries, his purports. We will get everything that is there in all of these books also. My appreciation for him just, every class that I listen, I just am so grateful to Srila Prabhupada. And like you said, you hear his voice saying the same exact thing, but it has, it somehow sinks in a tiny bit more into this hard heart. Yes. But I think we should, and we could talk more about how to actually practice more humility and try harder to surrender. I don't think we think of ourselves as surrendered souls, but we keep saying, like your humble servant, but we are not. So I think one thing I heard, I was going to ask, so how do we make ourselves surrender more, or, but then you gave the answer when we read that just from Jiva Goswami's surrender is you practice more of the hearing, the chanting, but actual practice, I think, is where the answer is. Thank you very much.
Anything else? Mother Vindavali, you're unmuted. You want to say something?
Thank you very much, Ma.
Okay.
I'm sorry I couldn't do that. I'm doing it today. I don't know why I did. Since long time I didn't attend your class, I think.
It's a monthly, Mother.
Yeah. I don't know. Last month I did attend.
Yeah.
For some reason, I'm sorry. Next time I won't do the mistake. Thank you
We
very
all
much for
make
a
mis-
nice class.
We all make mistakes, Mataji.
Is that right, Prabhu?
Yes,
don't
it's
think it-
one of the 4 defects of man is to make mistakes.
So you're normal, that means you're human.
No, I don't feel comfortable that way. And we said that anyway, whatever happened, happened, but they cannot come back.
Yeah.
Go back.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Okay. Guys,
Nice class. Lot of points.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
you go.
I like the points. All there was a clip you showed from Sarnagati, I think, hearing chanting. It was really nice, very inspiring, and nice. Surrendering means to serve also, I think. And it's very nice, inspiring class. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
There you go.
I'm going to complain a little bit.
Yeah.
Just one year at a time. But not about you. I'm going to complain about Suman Mataji. I'm trying to imagine what you look like. I've never seen you before.
Mother Sobarat?
Suman.
No,
Mother Suman.
Suman.
Yeah, she never comes
So
out.
maybe somebody will point that out to me when I go to Philadelphia Temple, because I'm not going to insist that you get off.
Show your face, Sumanji.
Well,
Yeah.
you don't have to if you don't want to, but I hope somebody points her out to me when I see her the next time. It is so regular, in coming.
Yeah, she's so regular.
So appreciative of, So the only thing that's left for me is to match your face to your voice. And if not here, then maybe at Philadelphia. We'll see you. Hare Krishna. So that's my complaint, but actually it's a good complaint, I think.
Sumanji,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Parikshit Prabhu, you should come to Philadelphia.
I'm waiting for Philadelphia to invite me.
All right. We will
Invite,
let.
you don't need
we
it.
will let.
I've told both president and vice president, they know.
Okay.
But they also know my body's a little weaker, so they're just saying, well, maybe. But I'm the one saying that I want to come.
All right.
We
the
all
condition
are
is,
requesting you, Prabhu.
yeah, the condition is, that my wife laid down is that if you go and then one of your daughters should come with you. But they're also ready to come. So,
Yes.
so if I get a date, then sure, I'll come.
All right.
So you can go put pressure on your president and vice president that I've been saying about the West.
We'll
I'd
do
like
that.
to come one time. Hare Krishna.
Yes. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. All right, I think.
So, Mother Suman, I apologize if I put you on the spot, but it's out of love. We want to see you.
I tried to start my video. It did not work, actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah, technology.
That's okay. Thank you so much, family. Thanks.
We'll see you in person at some point. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, Shamgori. I'll finish rattling on and on.
I don't see any other hands up, so we can end the class here. Thank you again.
Vaishnavibhyo namo namah.
Prabhupada ki jai. Shamgori Mataji ki jai. All glory to your service. Hare Krishna.
So we'll wait for you, Prabhu, Parikshit Prabhu.
Okay.
I'm not special, but I'm missing Philadelphia too. I want to come. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.